For each of the functions below, you are required to identify a possible domain D for which the function is well-defined. Well-defined means that for every input, it will map to a unique output. So you are required to give your answers in set builder notation and in interval notation. So it's the domain you have found the maximum domain. So for part A, it is a linear function f. So in this case, the maximal domain is given as capital D subscript f equals to the set of all real numbers. This is in set builder notation. So if you want to express as an interval notation, it will return in this form. From negative infinity to infinity. Okay, for part B, it is given as the function g. So in this case, the maximal domain is given as, again, capital D, which stands for domain, and the function is g, so the subscript is written as a letter g. Is equals to, in set builder notation, be x such that x belongs to or is an element of all real numbers but x cannot be equals to 0. Why is this so? Because for x over x minus 2 to be defined, the denominator cannot be 0. So x cannot be equals to 2. Or you can also write it as this form, all real numbers but exclude the element 2. As for set notation, it will be represented by this interval, negative infinity to 2, but because it excludes 2, so it's a round bracket, and you take the union from 2, excluding 2, to infinity. Okay, for part C, for square root of 1 minus 2x to be defined, the radicand 1 minus 2x must be non-negative. That is, 1 minus 2x have to be more than or equals to 0, which means that x has to be less than or equals to half. So in this case, the maximal domain is D and is given by the function h, so your subscript will be written as a letter h, which equals to, in set builder notation, x is such that x is an element of all real numbers and x have to be less than or equals to half. or in interval notation, it will be written as negative infinity to half. It's a square bracket because half is included. Okay, for the last part, similar to part B, for the function P to be well defined, okay, the denominator cannot be 0. Okay, which means that x squared minus 25 cannot be equals to 0. So x squared cannot be equals to 25, and therefore x cannot be equals to plus minus 5. So the maximal domain in set builder notation will be given as D subscript P, which is equals to element x is such that x belongs to all real numbers, but x cannot be 5 or minus 5. Okay, or you can write in this form, all real numbers but exclude the element negative 5 and 5. And in interval notation, it is written as negative infinity, round bracket, because it excludes minus 5, and union excluding 5 to infinity.